Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews.
National Lampoon's Christmas Game was something I saw on the shelf and I just had to have. From loving the movie, I felt like this would be a great addition to play at Christmas time. Boy, was I wrong. This has literally very little to do with Christmas Vacation. So much I'm surprised they put the Christmas Vacation on the box. Or maybe that is the joke. I mean, I guess it comes with the Moose Cup and you roll the dice and some dice head represents Eddie. It is very bizarre. It really, simply, it's a pressure luck board game. And what you're doing is rolling these dice to see if you can get more cards over. And you can always score a run. Either cards of the same number, denomination, or like a straight if you have that. And you're trying to shed your cards and get rid of them to be the winner of the game. So relying on the dice roll, you're to add dice, there's some negative effects that can happen, like Eddie can show up. And if Eddie shows up enough times, then you bust. We have seen this game a ton. This is nothing new or innovative or, quite frankly, very interesting you're going to find here. But let's talk about who it's intended for. This is intended for probably more of a mass marketing audience looking for a quick Christmas game. And in that regards, I think it will fit the bill, quite frankly, right nail on the head. Because it's going to be a simple game. A lot of mass market people who play this game likely haven't seen these mechanisms before. This idea of pressing your luck and the dice rolls and the getting rid of your cards. Now, the shedding may be something that they've seen before, but it's going to be new in this combination. You're going to think it's cute that you don't want Eddie to show up, and I suppose that is funny, even though it's just a side of a die. But some of the things are bizarre, like the wreath, and you're getting more cards, and a lot of the theme doesn't make sense, nor does it come through in the game at all. If you're looking for your definitive Christmas National Lampoons game, this is definitely not it. There's another one with Twinkling Lights that's been released, but perhaps this really would be the best of the bunch that I have played, but it's far from a recommendation. I guess I'll keep it because it's cute to play with the kids at Christmas time, and as they get older and are able to watch that movie, maybe get a lark out of the game. But I could see this one being supplemented by a further release with this IP on it. But for now, this is probably the best that we have, even though the theme and IP is paper thin, and the game, quite frankly, isn't all that great. For us, it's going to be a lukewarm keeper, but more for the situation that we'll be playing in, rather than it being a great game. Here is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation Game. It's by Funko Games, a big box. It kind of reminds me, the art motif is like a ugly sweater, if you ask me. Get a rule book, which we'll take a look at in a few minutes. I do want to show you the inner box. You can see Santa's on fire there. That's pretty funny from the movie. You're going to get a little board, completely 100% useless, but it does have the RV that Uncle Eddie came in. You're going to have a mug from the movie, I guess. And you have these dice with the printed sides on it. You put the dice in here and you roll them. That's what the mug does. Then you have a little place over here for a bunch of cards. The cards will have different backs. So everybody's going to get their own set of cards. And the cards are all the same. They just have numbers on them. I guess little pictures, perhaps scenes from the movie or whatever. But really, only thing that matters are the numbers. And it has this really busy, like, snowflake sweater motif on it. These cards are okay. They're kind of cheap. This is a mass market game. It doesn't cost very much. The dice are pretty good. This cup is fine. The board you don't need. Just has his RV on it. Here's the rule book with a picture from the front of the box. You're going to have a picture with all the components here and a setup. It's very easy to do. There's a QR code for a video in case you didn't want to watch this one. And then an overview of the turn. A little bit of pictures here. No examples really to speak of. I don't think you need it. End of game, how to score, and what to do on when you have the two special dice rolls. You probably need about 3 minutes to get through this. I didn't have any questions while playing. The rules are super simple. To set the game up is very simple. You put the dice aside, the board here. You have your dice rolling cup, and everybody will have their deck of cards shuffled. All the cards in each deck are exactly the same. On your turn, you're going to roll these dice. If you roll a Santa hat, which is Clark Griswold, you would flip a card over face up, and the cards will have 1 through 6 with the wild being 7. In this case, I roll 3, so I'm going to put 3 cards face up, and the wreath tells me I can put 1 card in here, so maybe I'll put the 1 in there, and I'll put it discarded down. Remember, the first person to get rid of all of their cards is the winner. If you were to roll the star, then I would get rid of an entire run. So if I had to roll the star, I got 1, 2, 3. That's a run, a straight, or all of the same number. So if I had like 3 ones, maybe. I could get rid of my 3 ones or 1, 2, 3. If you roll an Eddie, he goes in here, doesn't do anything for you. If you ever roll 3 Eddies, then you will bust and your turn will be over. If you choose to pass before you bust, then you can take one of your runs and discard it. The rest of your cards go back in your hand. Who should buy this game? This would be a gift idea, I think. I think you would buy this for a gift for a fan of National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, or for one of those exchange things where everybody gets a random gift and then you have to swap the gifts around. I think this would be a good price range and a funny one that people would be like, oh, that's pretty funny. Maybe I'll take that one home with you kind of gift. As for playing the game, I think the game works fine. I think it's a fun little game. It can be uneven at times. There's not a lot of ways to catch up. I think the luck of the dice roll can play. There's one game where I got rid of almost all my cards on the first turn. It can be a little bit uneven, and you can feel like you get screwed by the dice a little bit, but it's fairly quick, and it's not meant to be taken too seriously. I think this would also work for anybody who's looking for a Christmas-themed game. They don't play a lot of games, and something like this would be in their wheelhouse. If you're looking for a enjoyable gamer game type of experience, this is obviously not going to be it, nor was it intended to be. For us, it's going to be a keeper just to play around the holidays and have a goof on, but isn't something I would look forward to putting down on the table over and over and over again. For us, keeper, but lukewarm.